Audionovelas 2.0, jiji.
Talk talk, talk talk, Mr. Dante, wake up, talk talk, it's already noon, please wake up. Ha yes, thanks Clara, I fell asleep. Ugh, Mr. Dante, don't worry me like that, and get up, it's time to eat. Thanks Clara, I'll be down in a few minutes. Well, when you go down don't forget to lock your door. Sometimes some rookie adventurers forget to lock the door and end up being robbed by other people. See you downstairs. Well, it's time to get up. I stretch my muscles and track. Wah ha ha ha, what a pleasure. When I stretch my bones make a sound, hee hee hee. Apparently I slept a lot due to physical and mental exhaustion, but that's over now. When I finish getting comfortable I go out, and when I go down the stairs I see a variety of people eating. Among them are adventurers and the occasional merchant. You can distinguish it just by looking at them, since the merchants do not have weapons and their clothes it's of better quality than the others, but some of those adventurers are dwarves, and the merchants have people dressed as slaves, who are eating on the ground, and the food they receive from what I can see is low quality and cheap. I go downstairs, and Clara points me to a free table so that I can sit down. I thank her with a smile and go towards the table. When I sat down Clara was already close to me with a plate of food for me. When I leaned it on the table I can see that it is a kind of soup with some meat and some potatoes. I swallow because it has a light and pleasant smell. When I taste it, it has an acceptable flavor. It doesn't have any salt. I make a slight face and Clara notices my slight expression and he explains that the food is prepared thinking about the food that is needed for the day to day, and if he wanted something with a better flavor he would have to ask for a dish from the list that is marked on a wooden board near the kitchen, and if he wanted those dishes would have to pay some extra money. I nod affirmatively and notice that when he returned he would look for one of the dishes. Clara with a cheerful smile, quickly returned to the kitchen, finished eating and left the Silver Fairy Inn. I go out with slight excitement towards the Adventurers Guild, but before that I have to go out and buy some clothes and a normal weapon. Now with another new goal, I start walking looking around as if I were a child at a fair. After 10 minutes of walking, I managed to find a clothing store. When I entered I was greeted by two pretty ladies. At first they slightly widened their eyes because of my slightly dirty and torn clothes, but quickly coming to a conclusion they spoke to me normally. Hello young man, sir, how can we assist you? Hello, I'm new in the city and I would like you to introduce me to some clothes. The two girls nodded at the same time while they murmured in a low voice so that only their partner could hear them. Yes bandits, yes that. After nodding the two of them led me inside the store and showed me a couple of sets of clothes, ranging from normal to elegant, but since I had a limited amount of money, I bought a set, which was a white t-shirt from short sleeves and black pants that favor movement. Both cost me a silver coin since they were of good quality and soft, compared to the cheaper ones that were somewhat rough and hard. When leaving they thanked me for the purchase and I continued with my search for a weapon. After 5 minutes I managed to find a weapons store that was distinguished by its wooden sign with a logo of a sword and armor. Upon entering, the first thing I saw was a variety of weapons and armor of different types, and to my surprise, the person in charge of serving customers was not a dwarf. She was a pretty girl. She saw me and we stared at each other for 5 seconds, then she hurriedly introduced herself. Waha, hello, nice to meet you, my name is Elise, what do you want sir? Hello, my name is Dante and I'm new in town and I would like to see some of their weapons and armor if possible. Yes of course, but before I show you something I would like to know how much your capital is that you can spend. With a somewhat bitter smile I answer that I only have one large silver coin. Listening to me, Elise remains thoughtful for a few seconds, and responds that it is not much money and it will only be enough for a short sword of a little low quality. While Elise brings the short sword, apparently it is made of silver, a common mineral. When analyzing the sword I shows the following. Silver short sword, no enchantments or upgrades. Attack damage plus 80 from 120. Durability 40 out of 60. I pay him with a slight smile and go directly to the Adventurers Guild. I have no idea where it is. While I was walking I asked some shopkeepers for directions and finally I was able to get there. it was a large building with a variety of people going in and out. I'm just starting to get excited, hee. I calm down and go in. It's as expected. They have a notice board, several places where adventurers can meet and chat, and most importantly the reception room where 5 beautiful girls are serving adventurers and people making requests. I quickly go to the line and wait to be served, and finally it's my turn. A girl with blackberry eyes and well-groomed brown hair serves me. She has a beautiful figure and her C-cup breasts are almost bordering on AD size. And she has a brooch with her name. Apparently her name is Sylvia. Then she calls me with a somewhat cheerful smile. Hello, my name is Sylvia, and I am one of the receptionists of the Adventurers Guild. May I know what your request is? I answer somewhat nervous as I'm controlling my internal emotion. Haha, yes. I came to register at the Adventurers Guild. I'm new to the city. Sylvia nods and asks me if I can read and write, and if I can't, she will fill out the registration form for me. I answer yes, and with a smile he gives me a piece of paper and a pencil to fill in with my data. I look for a free seat and excited I start to fill out the form. Let's see, name, Dante Universo, age, 16 years old, in where he is staying, the Silver Ferry, date of entry to the city, I don't know what date it is, I'll ask him that before giving him the role, and finally if I have relatives or an acquaintance, to whom I can leave my belongings at the time of death in combat. I think that would be something similar to life insurance, but apparently it's only the belongings kept in the guild, and nothing from outside. I write that I don't have anyone and I go to Sylvia and I hand her the paper and the pencil and I explain to her that I don't remember the date and that I just arrived in this city just yesterday. She listens to me somewhat surprised that she does not know the date and writes it down for me. Apparently the date is 225 and the year is 1543. With a smile, Sylvia explains to me that the value of the inscription is 1 silver coin and that, if I didn't have at this moment, that they could deduct it from the next job I accept. I nod at his explanation and put my last silver coin. Sylvia takes the coin and adds a stamp to my paper and puts it away, then she brings a kind of envelope box about 10 by 20 centimeters long. She explains that this is used to create my guild card and I will only need 1 drop of my blood. Sylvia pulls out a knife and with a smile tells me to shake her hand. I remain stiff and with a slight fear I give my hand to the smiling Sylvia, and without basilar she pricks my finger all the way while smiling. I think this girl is crazy. But most importantly, this would be the perfect moment for an adventurer to try to intimidate me. I hope so, but nothing happens. Sylvia adds a drop of my blood in the box and it shines a little and a card comes out with my initials and rank. Apparently I am an F rank. Sylvia begins to talk about the ranks, which are rank S, A, B, C, D and finally F, which is the one I am in. She continues with her explanation in which it is of the utmost importance that I select missions in which be prepared and avoid accepting missions that are out of my abilities, because failing a mission not only affects the guild but also affects the people who requested that mission and can lead to death, and depending on the severity one can becoming demoted, expelled, or even enslaved. Is an option and welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Yes, thanks, which mission do you recommend for beginners? Or yes of course, give me 1 second, let's see, this will do. Well look, these 3 are good for beginners. The first one is gathering herbs. These are usually used for different types of medicines and to create low-quality life potions. This other one is for cleaning streets, garbage dumps, and some other places that someone does not want to clean, and the last one is for goblin hunting. Goblins are somewhat weak creatures, but they make up for that in numbers. These are disgusting creatures, and they are all born male, and when they gather in numbers they begin to attack the villages and kidnap the women for the procreation process. That's why these types of quests are permanent quests with no limit to the number of times you can accept, and in the case of goblins, bringing the ears is enough token to complete the quest. And one more thing, if you kill any, make sure to burn the corpse of the goblin when finished, because these can attract diseases and feed nearby monsters. Sylvia shows a slight displeasure when talking about the goblins. Well, thank you, I'll accept the one about the goblins. Very well, you just need to bring the evidence and the request will be finished. I thank Sylvia and leave the guild with a slight feeling of disappointment since no adventurer tried to taunt or hit me. Well, that doesn't matter, now I head straight for the exit to go. Blinks, wait a second, I have some in my item box, but since I didn't see any adventurer take them out inside the guild, I think it's a unique or rare skill. So using it in public can give me problems, so I'll go out and marry a goblin and I'll bring between 1 to 3 pairs of extra ears for each goblins I marry, until I finish all the ones I have in my inventory, which are about 40 goblins. As only the ears are required, the rest of the body seems to be useless. After 20 minutes I managed to reach the exit door where Glacé greeted me. Hey boy, how have you been? Hi Glacé, it's a pleasure to see us again, hahaha, and thanks for the inn's suggestion was nice and inexpensive. Right, hahaha, by the way, it brings you to this place. Haha, yeah, that's why I just registered in the Adventurers Guild and accepted a mission to eliminate goblins. What a good boy, starting as an adventurer, haha haha. Glacé laughed while patting me on the side the back, and they weren't soft, they hurt. A big thing, if you see any goblins, don't bury wildly, hide and go silently and attack him while he's distracted, because if he's alone he'll run, and in the cases that they're in groups, the goblin he will yell to get the attention of his companions and they will come to help him. Usually they are in small groups of between 3 to 5, but sometimes these groups can get up to 20 or more. These slightly larger groups have some stronger goblins as a leader. These are dangerous for newbies, and be careful, we don't want you to get hurt, ha 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 ha. Again Glacé laughs loudly and ruffles my hair, ha ha ha, thanks for the info Glacé and have a nice day. He slaps me in the back while saying goodbye. That hurts, old man. That's what I would like to tell him, but it seems to be his way of being. The other guards contain their laughter at the situation. After 1 hour of leaving the city, in a grassland I managed to find my first goblin as an adventurer. With slight excitement I hide in the grassland while entering stealth mode, and just like a lion stalking its prey, I approach stealthily, and when I am 3 meters away I quickly run towards its direction and with my short sword, I cut off its head with a single blow. Hee hee hee, I jump for joy when I hunt my first goblin, wah ha ha ha. I start to cut the ears of the goblin with slight displeasure. Because it has an unpleasant smell and I keep the ears in I keep them in, I didn't bring anything to keep them, what a joke. I keep the goblin's ear in my item box and then I take out another 2 goblin and proceed to poke out the ears, and build a fire to burn the goblin. When I finish my stomach starts growling, and while I prepare something to eat, all I have left is saber-tooth and cave bear meat, and nothing else edible. I prepare the meat with a little salt and open the portal of the fairies to give her a portion for all. A fairy happy to see me greets me but seems happier for the meat. That is what her bright eyes and firmly directed at the meat tell me. With a smile I share the meat and tell her to share it with the others. The fairy nods firmly like a soldier and returns to the portal with the meat. After eating, I look for some other goblin in the sector. After almost an hour of searching I found a group of 5 goblins. I give off a mischievous smile and go into stealth mode again. Just like the previous time, I approach between the grassland lurking. Apparently a goblin sensed something and approached me thinking it was a small animal that could eat. When he got close enough he saw me and flashed. Before he could react I pierced his throat silencing him, and grabbed the goblin so that he don't make a falling noise, hiding it in my item box. After that I head towards my next victim. I could swear the shark music was playing. Taran, Taran, Tarararan, another dead goblin, Taran, Taran, Tananana, Tanso, 2 dead goblins, and the last goblin realized he was alone and looks around looking for his comrades and Taran. So, he threw my short sword through his chest. After finishing removing their ears he returned to the city, and where I meet Glacé, my back pain returns. Resigning myself to my future I go to greet him. Luckily before returning I pack an improvised bag with the leaves and herbs of the place. Hi, it's you boy, and tell me how your first hunt as an adventurer went, ha 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 ha, thump thump. Hee hee, yet I think I did well. I show Glacé my makeshift bag with 9 pairs of goblin ears. Glacé is slightly surprised. Ha 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 ha, thump thump, good hunting boy. It's rare for a novice hunter to hunt more than 2 goblins on its first day. and you married 9. Congratulations, ha 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 hit hit. I enter the city with back pain. When I enter I go directly to the guild, where Sylvia is one of the guild receptionists. I line up and wait for me turn. When it's my turn Sylvia looks slightly surprised to see me. Hoo, Barry Dante, it's you. I didn't expect you to return the same day. You forgot something or something happened to you. Somewhat disconcerted by Sylvia's concern, I reply. No, it's not that. I just returned to complete the goblin hunting request. I show her the improvised bag and I explain that in that bag there are 9 pairs of goblin ears. Sylvia looks at the bag and then at me. This is, he repeats about 3 times before giving me an accusatory look. Dante, you didn't steal this. Or you bought it from other adventurers, right? Something annoying, I answer while touching my chest as if I were some kind of gentleman. I would never do something as low as that, Miss Sylvia, I married them myself. Sylvia, still mistrusting me, check my bag and count the ears of the goblins. Sylvia speaks to you almost silently. These ears are fresh and seem to have been recently cut. Sylvia, without having any argument against me, accepts the ears of the goblins and takes a breather before speaking to me. Congratulations, adventurer, for your guild points. You have been promoted to rank D. Rank D is the rank of beginner adventurer. Although I did not expect that you would arrive on the first day, it will be 3 copper coins for each goblin, and since it is your first completed order, the guild gives you a bonus of 1 silver coin, and have this from me. It is a small bag, take good care of it, and congratulations, Dante. He, thank you. I laugh in slight embarrassment. I grab the coins and head back to the inn victorious. Clara greets me and asks me if I'm going to want the normal meal or a special one. I nod and, reading the wooden plank, among all the dishes that were available, she had one that caught my impression, and it was wild boar meat with boiled potatoes. Clara goes to the kitchen and after 20 minutes of waiting, she brings me a plate with juicy meat in the shape of a T with some boiled potatoes. From what I can see and smell, it is prepared with some spices and herbs. When I taste it I can feel how the meat juices flood my mouth along with the added spices, and I tell her honestly, it's delicious. Clara blushes slightly and goes back to the kitchen. After eating I go back to my room to sleep after a great day.